Team Jackson, what's happening? I just got a message, and a woman asked me, like, why is it that she keeps running off guys left and right? You know what I mean? And this is a real general ass question, so I had to go back and forth with her a little bit. And she explained that she's not desperate, she's not pressed, and all that other good stuff, but she's really curious. Every time she talks to a guy or starts getting to know him, it seems like it just fizzles out really quickly before it even has a real chance to get started. But again, like I said, it could be many reasons. Like, this is a general ass subject. I've gotten this question a million times. Sometimes it is the guy that's fucking up or whatever, doing something, and she just having bad luck. Sometimes it's the woman who's 100% at fault for the guy running off, and every guy running off damn near. Like, any dude in his right mind would leave. You know, from some of these women that have just very dysfunctional habits. They haven't healed from their past. Some of them are just immature. But there are some women who also are 100% at fault for a guy leaving. But it's not really a bad thing. You know, I'm talking about like grown ass women. Like, if you're a grown ass woman, like, you're going to run some guys off. It just is what it is. And the reason why is because you're not going to fit the taste of the guys who came to run game. So when they figure out that they can't run a particular kind of game on you, yeah, they're going to run the other way. Like, I'll give you an example. You know, there's some dudes out here who are trying to flex with money and, you know, I could take you on trips, or they do have that $200 date that everybody was talking about not too long ago. And, you know, they think that's going to impress a woman, and it might. If she's young and she's naive and she's never come across a guy who had money, it may very well, you know, sweep her off her feet. But grown-ass women typically have either experiences or they've observed when a guy came into a situation and he did have a bag, but he also had bullshit. So it wasn't worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get a woman that's had some experiences with guys who had long money, and to be honest with you, let's just keep it G, this ain't a whole lot of guys out here. It ain't like dudes out this bitch just flourishing and prospering left and right. But there are some dudes who do have money. You know, the thing is, these guys will come into a woman's life and say, oh, I could change your life. I could do this. I could fly you to Dubai. I can get you the most expensive weave, whatever it is. Anything that's going to woo a woman. But a grown ass woman is going to say, no, you good. Like, you good. Keep your money. I don't need that. Like, I want more from you. Yeah, you need to be financially stable. You don't need to be trying to sling no poverty penis, but I need you to have more than just money. It's kind of like the video I made a while back when I was talking about, like, if a woman is fine and that's it, like, she's not going to really fulfill you in a relationship. Any real man is not going to be fulfilled by a woman who's just fine and that's it. Like, you need more than pretty to settle down with and to raise your children one day. A woman is no different. You know, so when guys come and they trying to flex and that's their only card that they got to throw in, and they realize this woman ain't going for that shit, yeah, they going to go the other way. Even if the woman doesn't have money, they don't mean that she got money because she's not impressed by money. It just means that's not what she's after. You know, but let's say a woman let's say she does have a bag herself. Let's say she out here getting it. Let's say she's ambitious and goal-oriented and, you know, she's focused on something to do with her career, furthering her career. A lot of dudes will come into her situation and say, you know what? You too independent. Let me tell you why a grown woman is not going to be deterred by that. Most of them have seen or even experienced being dependent on the guy and being left stranded, being left hanging, or a guy trying to use that to have strings attached to her, or, you know, you owe me, or take credit for her success that she had thereafter. And you know what's funny about all of this? I've never heard, y'all let me know in the comments if y'all have heard of this shit. I've never heard a guy being called too independent for having his own money, you know, or being self-sufficient. I've never ever heard of a guy being called too independent yet. This is something that's ascribed to women whenever they got their own. Matter of fact, I hear more dudes talking about, you know, if you don't want a broke dude, you got to be ready for a busy dude. You got to, you know, understand that he going to be busy sometime. If he don't answer the phone and he don't give you no time or make no time for y'all, you got to understand he out here getting his paper. But when it comes to a woman who's trying to do the same shit, maybe she's not grinding 24/7, but, you know, she may have some time that's just uncompromisable. Like, she's got to spend this on work, or she's got to be in bed by a certain time so she can get up first thing in the morning. Like, she's not playing about that. She's not going to pick up her entire life because you told her she was cute and that she would make a good girlfriend or a wife one day. So she's not about to just leave everything that she's built. But these women get told, like, you know, you too independent. You ain't making room for no man. She ain't too independent. You know, bosses get with other bosses and they compliment each other. A real boss doesn't need another boss to step down and be less in order to feel sufficient. Grown women already know that. Another thing about grown women, another game that you can't run on grown women, is that whole, oh, your standard's too high. You're going to be single. You know, whenever she get on the first date and she's talking about the things that interest her so that neither of you will have to waste your time with things that don't, because she's not going to be able to fake. It's similar to like old women or old men. I like old women especially. I've seen more old women be on this. But if you come across like an elderly woman, get around your grandma or something like that, you probably gonna get your feelings hurt, because they don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings. They say whatever comes to mind, no filter, no chaser. You know what I mean? They don't care. They ain't got time for that shit. They too old for that. Like a grown woman is similar, like especially when it comes to saying what she wants out of a relationship, what she wants out of a man. You know, I'm not talking about the women that have this long, superficial ass laundry list of all the things a dude's gotta have. He gotta be 6'7", he gotta be making 9 figures. You know, and I'm not talking about that. You know, I know some women, you can't afford me. That's not standards. That's bad priorities. I'm talking about the women who say, you know what? I'm not playing a guy who still got strings attached to his ex. You know, if you think cheating is cool sometimes under certain circumstances, I'm not interested. I need a guy that wants to have a family, or maybe he already had his family and we can both just settle down because I got kids, he got kids, we good. Something along those lines, you know. But when guys say, you know, these high ass standards, you're going to be single, dudes are essentially trying to say, I'm the definition of all men, meaning everything I don't come with is the only thing that you can expect out here. Grown women already know it's too many Devon Franklins. It's too many, you know, LeBron Jameses who married his high school sweetheart. There's too many Kevin Harts out here. It's too many guys with like good families who are stepping up to the plate. These dudes, and I'm using celebs as an example because we all know of them. But if you look up and down your timeline, especially around like Christmas and New Year and all that, he asked and I said yes. These dudes are out here and they're not saying to their woman, oh, everything that you want from me, you want me to treat you fairly, you want me to consider your feelings and not do anything to you that I wouldn't want done to me. You asking for too much. You're going to be single the rest of your life. These dudes are not doing that. A lot of times guys are meeting these women and saying, you know what? Right now, I'm not good enough for you, but I'm going to step my own shit up so I can be good enough for you. Grown women know these guys are out here. Y'all can try to play like they naive. You might get a young girl with that shit who's still spooked by being single. But a lot of grown women have been in a relationship where, you know, the title itself didn't match the contents that was behind that label. Whether it's married, engaged, in a relationship or whatever. So she's not romanticized by, you know, one day I'll be in a relationship and my life will be complete. She's experienced relationships that were worse than any kind of singleness she's ever had. So you're not going to spook her with that, or you're going to be single the rest of your life the moment that she tells you her standards, or she posts a video from a guy that represents her standards. You're not going to spook her with that. Like, you're just not going to get away with that shit. So if you're a grown ass woman, right, and you're running away these guys, understand, like, they only running away because they didn't deserve to stay with what you offer anyway. This is what it is. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. I'll let y'all later. Peace.